What's up, everybody? It's Industry Professionals.
Oh, you can eat.
Oh, you can eat. You guys know what I'm saying? When you get that $3.99 buffet at Sbarro, and you gotta get all you can eat.
It's Industry Professionals.
Actually, it's the year 1985.
Oh.
Welcome, everybody.
Check it.
U.S. Vice President George H.W. Bush announces that New Hampshire teacher, Krista McAuliffe, will become the first school teacher to ride aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger. We got... We I actually didn't see what that
I was like, I knew as soon as
I started
you said,
with...
I'm like, you have no idea how this one ends.
No,
you
no
don't know what
clue.
you're reading. Dude, the Space Shuttle Challenger.
Oops.
Oh, man.
But then again, Pete Rose becomes an all-time hit leader in Major League Baseball, wins his 4,192nd hit at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati.
Dear listener, you might be wondering...
Smash Bros is released. Oh, no, Mario Bros. My bad.
Dear listener, you might be wondering, why are the Industry Professionals talking about the goings-on of the year 1985?
Italian crime reporter Giancarlo Ciani is killed by Kimura.
There was a lot of organized crime stuff going on in
I think that's just how time works.
Yeah.
It's always just going to be organized crime.
Because
Not like
we're talking about a new form of music the kids were dancing to. They were putting it on. It wasn't quite disco. It wasn't quite funk.
What was it?
They were calling it rap.
Okay, hip-hop? All right, I'm in.
Proper.
Okay, so we got 2.5 movies today because we were a bit crunched for the last one, and it stopped loading, and we could not watch it.
And a couple of them are very bad.
All right, let's not jump to anything. Let's just say that we didn't prepare as much as we should have because we were watching one right before we came here today, and the stream stopped loading.
Stream was being very difficult for 1985's Rappin'.
Yep,
starring Mario Van Peebles.
Peebles.
It's an awesome name.
It is.
It sounds made up.
Yes.
Like it sounds like you're
Van Peebles.
Somebody's like, yeah, if this ID is real, then what's your name? And you're like, Mario Van Peebles.
It sounds like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got 1985's Crush Groove.
Crush Groove.
Crush with a K.
Yes.
Everybody. And then we decided to jump ahead a bit because it was the first one we watched. We got 1991's Cool as Ice.
Yes.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry, everybody.
So, before we even get into the events of any of these movies,
it's 1985.
It's 1985. Just for some reference, Argentinian President Raúl Alfonsín terminates Argentinian administration of the Falkland Islands, but he doesn't relinquish Argentina's claim to the islands. Okay? Just to get you in the right headspace.
Africa had a population growth of 3.2% this year.
That seems huge.
That is pretty big.
But like...
The famine in Ethiopia continued.
Oh.
And then U.S. for Africa, parentheses, We Are the World, and Live Aid raised funds for famine relief. Everybody knows what Live Aid is, right?
Yeah.
So it's that Rami Malek thing. Right? Where before he went on stage with all of his bandmates, he was like, guys, I have AIDS. Let's go perform music.
Let's go live.
Yeah. That's what, yeah.
So, yeah, rap, like, was nowhere near the mainstream that it is now.
Yeah.
And also, what rap was then is unrecognizable to what rap is now.
Yeah, it's much goofier.
It represents, like, entirely different cultural elements. Its narratives are completely different.
Oh, yeah.
What it stands for, the fashion, in ways that are, I would say the overall feeling is extremely lame compared to now.
Sure, yeah.
Or even compared to
the 90s.
The 90s, yeah.
Yeah. Back when rap started to get a little more serious.
I guess before gangster rap existed, rap was just... I mean, everybody's
before
heard...
Mobb Deep.
Everybody's heard the Sugar Hill Gang Rapper's Delight, where it's like... a hip hopping, and then there's a verse in it where it's like, when you're at your friend's mom's house and you don't want to eat the food.
Yeah,
because
I mean, you guys just heard All You Can Eat. They're rapping about mac and cheese and bologna. Like,
yeah.
The songs can be about pretty much anything.
And I think many of these movies was the concept was we want to show rap to a wider audience. And for that, they all need to have a message of like anything can be rap.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why all the raps like are what's going on. And like for example, there's a scene in Crush Groove when it's like they need to rap to get a loan from the bank.
Oh my god.
So they're like, well, we can rap saying words for all these nerds.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Most raps are about either what is literally going on in the scene or the concept of rapping itself.
Yeah.
Many raps are about.
And about how they're the best.
And about how like
I'm number one.
Yeah.
Move over, son.
Yeah, move over, son.
The point is words get to rhyme. And
Better
they
than
say
the
it with
competition, 100%.
Yes.
And it's like stilted delivery that isn't in any way. There's no concept of flow at this point.
It's like the B-52s.
Stay away, Shack. Funky little Shack.
Yeah, exactly. I got me a car.
It's actually not that off. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, man, like the rhythm of all these words.
Yeah, it's just a stilted rhythmic delivery of words that rhyme.
Yep. And then usually over like, I don't want to say a generic beat because probably at the time it wasn't.
No, it's a beat with like a really crunchy snare and those really like 80s toms where it's like do 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 do.
You know, like the little distorted high pitched hi hat.
Yeah.
Not hi hat. Shucks. You know what I mean.
Rapping here for all you fools. Now it's time we gotta learn the rules.
Like you could come up with it.
And every rap takes place. They are like musical numbers in that they are choreographed and extremely lengthy, but take place always in like the cool fresh club. Yeah, that's like a disco club.
At least in Crush Groove, it was mostly at that Disco Fever club.
Yes.
In rapping though, it seemed to change setting a bit. Remember, it was like there were kids outside.
Well, rapping was okay. So let's
we
get
didn't
into,
finish rapping.
Let's get into the what we saw of the movie Rapping
right before we came here.
So it opens prison.
Of course,
Mario Van Peebles. You see him, you're like, I didn't know Van Peebles was in this. He gets his possessions. And the rap is about like
getting out of prison,
like
right?
and straightening, like cleaning up your act.
Okay, yeah.
The rap's like about, he doesn't plan to do crimes after this. It's like, I paid my dues to society.
Yeah,
being good's up to you and me.
Yes.
But like not even that conceptual. Like,
yes.
So he gets on a bus back to his hometown. He immediately runs into a gang that has the following outfits. One has a biker helmet. One has like a white vest and red headband, a la like the Karate Kid. One of them has like a Che Guevara style like gorilla beret. One of them has a Civil War cannoneer hat
with the cross rifles.
Yes, and like a Union drummer boy.
Yeah, you know what it is.
And the guy with the bandana has a whip.
Yeah,
he wields a whip as a weapon.
Forgot about the whip.
And he says, "Indiana, my ass."
Yeah.
So it's like this gang's about to start trouble with our hero, who we learn his name. So he's been going through town with a beatbox that's playing, I guess, his theme song.
Yeah, no, it's about him
Rapping
getting out of prison,
which is his name.
Yeah, no,
as a new song is Rapping Hood.
So I don't know. Maybe it's a missed opportunity, but like, why is the movie called Rappin' and not Rappin' Hood?
Because I think it's less about the individual and more about the idea that he brings to this neighborhood of rap.
I don't think that's true.
Okay. Well, we can't confirm or deny.
That's true. That is true. We only saw the first 30 minutes.
Also, there's just a really good shot as the the bus he's on comes into town where we get the title over it, and it's just Rappin'.
Yeah.
RAPPIN apostrophe.
Yep.
And it's super. It looks like a fast food logo.
Bright. It looks like McDonald's. It's bright red and yellow.
Or like,
and it's like
church,
graffiti-ish.
Yeah,
like sloppy enough.
Yeah. It's like,
but
those
also
like
super
juicy
clean.
letters. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No, it just comes on and it's there.
It's
and it
very
was really funny. Yeah. We got a kick out of it.
So then he gets back to his apartment where he's staying, I guess, with his grandma.
No. First he goes out clubbing, right?
No, I think he first.
Nope,
he
you're right.
home,
You're right. Yeah.
And him and his brother perform a rap for their grandmother.
Of course.
About how good brothers they are.
Yes.
They're just talking about how like in lockstep they are and like always have each other's backs. If you're the flame, then I'm the match. If you're the and and that goes on. I don't think she wants them to rap.
No,
I believe she would.
She doesn't like
not,
them
but,
going out late and clubbing.
As happens in multiple of these movies. Chimes in with one line of the song of her own that's something to the effect of like, well, you kids need to pull up your pants, quit it with that song and dance.
She says something about eating oatmeal, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
The villains are greasers.
The villain, we didn't get far enough, but he was like the Van Peebles' right-hand man before he got locked up.
Yes, and he's now with his girl.
Now with his girl and a completely new gang. And like immediately the dude is hostile.
Yes.
And is like, don't make me thaw you out, Ice.
Yeah.
Now get out of my way.
Yeah.
And like, stuff like that, real intimidating stuff. Van Peebles doesn't hit him in the face.
No, because he doesn't want to go back to jail.
He's not about that life anymore.
This is wrong. This isn't how you live anymore.
So he goes to the bathroom, punches off the paper towel dispenser, kicks open a door with somebody in it.
It was like that scene in the Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling.
I was thinking Dewey Cox.
Oh, that's true too.
I don't even remember what scene you're talking about.
Oh, The Nice Guys is such a good movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. I've seen it like maybe twice. No, at least twice. Sorry, everybody. This ain't about that.
But the villains are greasers. He became. It's basically they're making fun of Rapping Hood for like becoming like straight edge in jail.
Yeah. Becoming a wuss.
There was the line that I really liked that was just like, well, you were gone on your whole vacation. You haven't been around here for a while. Don't know what that's all about. Like, clearly he does know. And then he's like, how was prison, by the way?
Yeah. Yeah. Real subtle.
So they pretend to be Jamaican at some point. This is where it started.
Before they pretend to be Jamaican, we get Snack Attack.
We get Snack Attack.
So one of the in Van Peebles' group, there's one of them who works at a
like a grocery store, just like a grocery store.
No, it looks like somewhere where they just like box food and ship it places.
Yeah,
it was a bunch of apples.
It looked like a food bank or something.
Exactly.
Like it was all
yeah. And then he's like, guys, get out of here before I get fired. And they go, nah, man, you're the best one here. You can't get fired. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, oh, but guys, and then
they realize their
fat
mistake.
One's hungry.
Yeah, the fat one.
And then they go, Snack Attack!
Yes.
And then song about snacks and about how the fat kid loves eating them while he's shoving cake in his face. And then the boss of this work facility sees these hooligans eating food, the food that goes to the good homeless people, assumingly. And he's like, oh, wow, you're fired immediately. And then they each take a box of food, run out, are on the sidewalk when a cop pulls over and says, hey, what's up with this? And then they start speaking in a Jamaican accent.
Yeah, just to be like, we don't know about what's going on. We have no knowledge of this.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really...
My notes end there.
Yeah, my notes end there. I think that's
There's
exactly
another Jamaican bit, but
he has a song where he teaches kids... He raps about colors to the kids.
Yeah.
And that, I'm assuming, is the trajectory of the film.
Yeah, like...
You know what? You know how we should end this episode?
What?
We should, after talking about the next two movies, say how we suspect the movie Rappin' goes.
Yeah. how we think. Well, let's just do it now.
No, just based on everything we've learned from the other movies. You don't think that'd be better?
I think there's nothing to be learned from Cool as Ice. I don't think there's anything there that's
okay. So
of course.
So was this the one where it's like a real estate developer is trying to buy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trump.
A Trump-like real estate developer is trying to buy the.
We never see where that goes.
But we will. I'm saying if we want to project. Okay. So how does this go? Mario wants to impress this lady, but he can't fight.
I can't find her name at the moment.
Okay. Here's my guess. One of the young kids is like, I have bullies who pick on me.
Okay.
Mario Van Peebles teaches the kid how to like rap battle the bullies and win that way instead of through fighting back.
Use your words.
Yes.
Okay.
And then applies that in his life as well. But I think definitely it has to be through teaching like a kid. Probably his little brother, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
His little brother is like a younger kid. So I think probably that's what happens.
Okay.
And he uses the rap to stand up to, he's like rap battle to get
the other
to
guy.
get control of the gang back.
Yeah.
But then the real estate developer is like, well, it doesn't matter. We're shutting you down.
And then they all work together?
No.
Yeah, that's not where I saw this going.
No.
I think it turns out that the friend, the ex-best friend, the dude who has a new gang, is in cahoots with the real estate man somehow.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that's where
that's
that
the way.
goes.
Yeah.
There's no
he
evidence
will
of that,
he will
but-
sell it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's on top.
Yeah, he'll do it and he'll cut some deal.
Yep.
So then how does that get dealt with? How does
For rapping.
Okay. Well,
Rappin' Hood comes through and just tells them how it is, and they go away. You really need somebody who just tells it how it is.
You want me to look up the synopsis?
I think that's less fun.
But just what if we're really close?
Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe that would be fun. I have it open right here.
Okay.
I'm going to IMDb.
This is hilarious that this is what we do.
In the shadows?
On this show.
Oh, yeah.
we guess. We
guess.
watch half a movie, guess what the second half is, and then read it on Wikipedia. That's actually a good concept now that I say that. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, hold on. I think we need to change industry professionals a bit.
To industry.
There's no synopsis of this. It's asking me if I want to write one.
Wait, can you? Do you have a Wikipedia?
IMDb?
Or do you have an IMDb?
I do.
You want to just put what we think happens in the movie?
I kind of do.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So
synopsis.
Van Peebles.
Yeah, I was going to say Peebs.
Okay, Peebs. Peebs gets out of prison.
He returns to his gang of merry men.
Turns to his gang of merry men.
Including
Confederate hat guy.
I was going to call him Stonewall Jackson.
Including Stonewall Jackson. Oh, I hope that the mics are picking up me typing.
Yeah. He
All right, so Peeps gets out of prison, returns to his gang of merry men, including Stonewall Jackson.
Okay.
His ex-best friend.
Yeah. Now runs this joint. Now runs the show.
And owns the town now.
Owns the town. Has a stranglehold.
Has a stranglehold on the town? On the neighborhood? On
the hood. It would be on the apostrophe hood because it was before hood was even known to be an abbreviation.
Sure.
So,
okay. For the hood, as the hood, comma, but Peebs doesn't want any trouble.
Yes. He's determined to make the hood safe again and to get his girl back.
Apostrophe hood. Safe again and get his girl back. Meanwhile,
I was just
27 stories up.
Wait, actually, can you say?
Oh, you got another? Yeah, lay it on me.
Yeah, it should be like. Meanwhile, an explosive device sent by the Unabomber injures John Hauser at University of California, Berkeley.
That's
and scientists of the British Antarctic Survey announced the discovery of the ozone hole.
classic 1985 trivia.
Thomas
lore
Patrick
for
Kavanaugh
ya.
is sentenced to life in prison for attempting to sell stealth bomber secrets to the Soviet Union.
Man. Hurricane Elena makes landfall on the U.S. Gulf Coast, reaching a Category 3 status.
I think you should just end it with new line, like enter,
Okay.
snack attack.
That'll come, but I'm saying meanwhile, 27 stories up. Real estate
mogul. Jonald M. Grump.
Yeah, that's good. How do I spell mogul?
Mogul.
Oh, just G-U-L.
Yeah, it's like a Lord of the Rings word.
There's no name that rhymes with Donald.
I said Jonald.
Jonald.
Ronald.
Ronald G.
Grump.
Plots to
build a
Take
money
over.
factory.
build a Sparks factory. Sparks factory over their scene.
Over their scene, yes.
Enter. Snack attack. Exclamation point. All right.
Okay.
Update the data for categories that aren't listed above. Select this box. All right. Check these updates. What? It's been rejected? Ooh, it needs to be at least 1,500 characters, and I only have 377. All right, hold on. I'm just going to put in a bunch of spaces.
And then the rest is lorem ipsum.
Snack attack 500 times.
It's just the Wikipedia page for events in 1985.
Yes. All right, let's see how... All right, recheck the updates. Ah, damn. Spaces are not characters according to
TWA
IMDb.
Flight 847 carrying 153 passengers from Athens to Rome is
All right,
hijacked
the
by
bit's over.
Hezbollah fringe group.
Bit's over. We're not talking about rapping anymore. We're done. We wasted too much.
Next movie.
Crush Groove.
Crush
Groove. Crush
We
Groove.
do the least for society of anyone.
Yeah, this station's worse because we're on it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Crush.
I was spoken to by management the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Name.
Give us a first name.
It was Mario Van Peebles.
Yo, Peeps came up to me yesterday. And it was, yeah. All right. Either way, let's just get on to Crush Groove.
They said if you youngsters don't shut down that radio show.
Yeah, the dean came up to us and tried to get
Crusty
us.
old Dean said if you don't turn down that loud music,
Yeah.
why there will be heck to pay. And I said, nuts to that, old man.
Sorry,
You gotta
Cruster.
Right.
All right. Yo, the Beastie Boys showed up in this
Yeah,
movie.
they were really bad.
They were horrible.
Like I unironically, I'm a huge Beastie Boys fan. They're like one of my favorite bands.
one of
And-
your favorite bands.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty big.
And they gave a horrible performance.
What's your favorite album? Paul's Boutique?
My favorite album is,
It better be Licensed to Ill.
I mean, it probably is.
Yeah, that's the one with if it's gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna in the mashed potatoes.
Yeah, it's got some good skits.
Yeah, it's B-Boys making with the Freaky Freak, classic.
Um,
Not what's heard in the hit film Crush Groove.
no. So also another thing about Crush Groove,
Yeah.
it follows like an ensemble of characters.
Yeah, it's a real Love
It
Actually
follows
situation.
Yes, it follows many characters, and that's because it has an insane runtime.
It's not. It's only an hour 37.
Oh, good God! This movie felt like the
This-
longest
yeah.
movie I've ever
This
watched.
movie felt incredibly long.
And we'll get into why.
Yeah.
But so
Okay, so should I just name musical artists that are in it first?
no, I'm gonna say what the basic premise is.
Go.
It loosely follows apparently the story of the beginning of Def Jam Records. So it follows the
What is
head
Def
of-
Jam Records, Ben?
They're like the biggest early hip hop record label.
Okay, cool. Keep going.
They still have
I'm just making sure our audience knows.
So it follows the
Guys.
it's a real garage operation. So it follows the founders of the producers
And who might that be?
Some actor and Rick Rubin.
Yeah, Rick Rubin plays himself. His name
Yeah,
is Rick.
Yeah, and he was that.
Yeah, he was good in it.
I
I would say one of the few good performances in this movie.
And
that's,
we
like,
also follow
Still had that rap scene.
the three fat boys, who are
the Fat Boys?
yeah, a couple of high school kids who want to make it in the rap scene.
They're a
and win
dream team of talent.
A new stereo in a contest, but also gain the confidence to talk to girls.
Does that happen?
I mean, it's yeah.
Okay.
They wear raccoon skin hats.
No, just one of them.
But then later, two of them.
Really?
Yeah, when they're on stage later.
That sucks.
But we also follow.
Yeah.
Who else do we follow?
Okay, so we follow record producers. We
also follow Run DMC.
We follow Run DMC, and then these other two girls who are musicians, who I forget the names of.
One is like Stella E or something.
Sheila E.
Sheila E.
Yeah, she's a real artist.
I think these are all real artists.
Some are not. Some are actors. Like Russell Simmons plays Crockett.
Yeah, I think, but all the musicians are.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My
people
bad.
who were signed with that record label.
Yes. That is true.
Like Curtis Blow.
Curtis Blow. Sorry, I saw something that caught my interest. I apologize. Curtis Blow, LL Cool J.
LL Cool J is in this.
Beastie
Yes.
Boys.
Beastie Boys. This is actually pretty.
DMC.
It's
there's names.
It's star-studded.
No.
The movie's trash though.
Trash is a strong word.
Really?
Yes.
This movie was difficult to watch because of the.
Hey, remember when okay, so I have a note here that says. Ben just asked me the conflict of this movie, and I couldn't answer.
Yes.
That being said, it's not like I didn't enjoy parts. Because literally we were 15 minutes in, and I think you were like, man, I don't know how interested I am. And I went, I'm really into this right now. This is interesting. I'm in it. And then we got the scene with the bouncer. And I think that convinced
That's good.
the both
Okay,
of us.
so the record label is going through money troubles. They need to, you know,
they're a startup record company.
yeah. They're
And
going
they
through
have
money
names
troubles.
that are too big for them to handle.
They get
They're
a
selling too many copies.
They get a shady offer that the guy doesn't follow up on.
Oh yeah, from Richard E. Grant.
Yes.
Nope, just Richard Grant. No E. That's Sheila who has the E. My bad. Are you trying to remember the plot?
Yeah. So like,
Let's just start from the opening credits.
it's mostly a vehicle for music videos, and I think
that's what all these are.
yeah, I think that's what we discovered these pre-MTV movies are, is like you know, you come for the music videos and to see like people break dance and beatbox and stuff. And like seeing that for sometimes 3, 5, 10 minutes at a time is totally acceptable, I guess.
I mean, we had it for straight up 15-minute segment of 3 different musical
Yeah,
acts.
back to back to
one
back.
after the other. Like, it was nuts. But the movie starts with Raccoon Hat Kid creeping on a girl, kind of, just looking up her skirt as he hides under a stairway.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, the 3 of them are in school, and they get kicked out of school for, you know, being hooligans. And then they start rapping. Because, like, you know, in school you rap when you get kicked out. And then they start creeping on another girl. That's what I have in my notes. I don't remember
Yes.
the
Well,
visuals.
so they're in a school that looks like a sanitarium.
Right, yes.
It's weirdly like sterile
Yeah,
and
not a
like
school.
a cure for wellness.
yeah.
And then they're just following this girl and sing a song about dogging her. Like,
Yep, there it is.
Like following her doggedly.
Yeah.
And we learned that one of the fat boys, his thing is that he's like a beatboxer. Yeah.
That kid.
Um,
He does that a lot.
Yeah, so these are just full musical numbers that exist out in the world, and the main theme of these movies is that rap is magic.
Yeah.
Rap,
Everybody
is connected through rap. It's like the Force.
Yeah. Nobody's having a bad time.
No one's having a bad time. Everybody's like dancing to boom boxes at all times.
Yeah, everybody is literally on the same exact wavelength.
Everybody is dropping in and out of rap conversations flawlessly.
Yeah, everything's choreographed somehow.
Nowhere would you get a hint that like 96 BGM 71 TOWs were sent to Iran in exchange for hostages in Lebanon and profits for the Nicaraguan Contras.
I mean, everybody but the pastor, because he seems to not like rap too much.
Yeah,
and isn't really affected by it.
That is true.
He tells Run DMC and Russell.
He just expresses his general disapproval.
He's like, hey, guys, this music's not good, and you guys need to find real careers. And then they're like, no, but we're making real money off this. And he goes, you guys just don't understand.
Yeah. It's not about that. I think God is testing you.
He
with your financial troubles.
Does he ever come back?
No.
Oh. Strike one for Crush Groove. Yeah, the pastor hates rap, but then Run DMC does not take said advice and still performs at the Disco Fever Club.
Yes. Now, the Disco Fever Club, I suspect, so this is during the time when rap is still transitioning out of like a subgenre of disco.
Yeah.
And these songs are all like 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
And are also like intense and like a lot of physicality.
Yeah.
And it is clear that this is still very much like the cocaine era.
Oh, of course.
I feel
it's the 80s. You're in the center of it.
Where you're people singing and playing the drums while standing.
Yes.
Everybody looks like there are only 3 people you can look like.
Yo.
You are allowed to look like Michael Jackson. You are allowed to look like Prince.
Mostly Prince.
Or you are allowed to look like Lionel Richie, maybe.
All of which have basically the same hair.
They all have the same hair.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, that one, there's like 2 Princes on the screen right now.
Spin Doctor style, yes.
Yeah, everybody laugh.
There's a lot of Princes in this movie.
Yeah,
they sound exactly like Prince. They have all the same like musical tics as Prince.
I have a note that
Good
just
God
says
now.
Everything is Prince.
Yeah, everything is Prince. Everyone is Prince.
Yeah. So I just started listening to Prince recently, and listening to him, like, wow, he has so much influence over music that came after him, and apparently he also had influence over everything that came after him, including Crush Groove.
Yes.
But yeah, so they're at the Disco Fever Club. And Run DMC's performing. Sheila E. is performing, who's a new character at this point. And
she's Prince, by the way.
She's Prince. And then the high school boys, the fat boys. I'm just going to call them the fat boys.
Yeah.
They, but they're not the fat boys yet. This movie is actually, spoilers, the birth of the fat boys. And they try to get into this bar, and there's the guy at the door being like, "Let me see them IDs." And like, they all hand him like fit people. And he's like
they obvious fakes because they're much skinnier in the picture.
Yeah. And the guy's like, "Yeah, no."
Even though aren't ID pictures only like from the shoulders up?
I don't know how it was in the 80s. I'm not gonna talk.
I assume it's the same.
I assume too, but when I saw them, I'm like, wow, that looks really inaccurate. But I'm like, I don't know how it was in the 85, so I guess I can't make any judgment calls. But yeah, you don't see their faces in any of the pictures, so I'm gonna guess they're inaccurate. But either way, eventually they're like, no, but we're a rap group. We need to get in. We're performing.
We're in the
we're in the Disco Fever, and the bouncer.
We're on the list.
Yeah. And the bouncer's just like, I don't see you, but then they go, bonk, bonk.
Yeah.
And
he's
like, start rapping.
He
wins them over.
He shows what that mouth do.
Yeah. Gross. And the bouncers eventually
is like, all right,
you know what? You guys
good? It's just going to be $10 each.
And then they go, $10? Nah, forget this. And they all leave immediately.
That's pretty funny.
It was pretty funny, and I was shocked. But I get why they couldn't go in there and get their record deal just yet.
Yes.
That we had to wait a few more musical numbers.
So, over time, there's a sort of slimy competitor at Galaxy Records.
Yeah.
And he starts poaching the talent.
Yeah, Curtis Blow, Run DMC.
He's
like, come on, guys. I can make your music bigger. Which is true. Mm-hmm. And
even Russell realizes it.
Even Russell's like, yeah, no, go do that.
In what is the best scene of the movie.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Slow down. That's not the best scene of the movie. All you can
eat. He says, you know what? No, you'd be a fool not to be signed with someone bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Curtis Blow's like, no, I'm true to you. Right?
No.
In that scene he is.
No.
Oh, does he then go?
He says
okay,
he's
cool.
go over.
Wait, you're right.
LL Cool J then raps to the Galaxy people.
I don't remember that.
Who their representatives I saw on IMDb are named Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Which doesn't even make sense because those are the same person and represent different, like, one's good and one's bad.
They're bad.
You know what I mean?
They're bad people.
But that doesn't make any sense, really.
They're bad.
I don't think that really makes sense.
Dr. Jekyll's just as bad as Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll created Mr. Hyde.
Oh, man.
But before that, the good people of Krush Groove are trying to get money together for this thing. And they're like, need a bank loan. So Rick Rubin and Russell.
I was like, you remember this really well, but then I was seeing you looked at the computer briefly, and I was
Russell?
like, oh no, and then I'm like, oh, you have a synopsis open.
No, I just got Google open. It's not helping me with anything.
Okay, because I was like, remember?
I do remember this movie.
Solid
really
memory
well.
of this
Krush
movie.
Groove had impact. So they go into the bank, and the bank teller is like,
yes, no problem.
Yeah,
you want to start?
You guys are a music
company?
label, sure.
Awesome.
And then he goes, but what genre of music? And Rick Rubin steps back and goes,
He's like,
puts hand over his mouth and goes, rap.
rap.
And then he's like, what would you say? He's like, rap music. Russell was then like clarifies.
He's like, what do you mean, rhythm and poetry?
Yeah. And then he's like, I don't know what rap music is.
Yeah.
So then
he's like,
Rick
isn't that
and
the
Russell,
music that those thugs listen to?
No, the bank teller is completely unaware of what
Of the
rap
existence
music.
of rap
he's
music.
Just like, what is that?
Even ignorant. He's ignorant of it, not about it.
And then Rick and Russell just immediately start yelling in a bank. And
they're like,
rapping.
anything can be a rap.
Like me, I'm getting up and spitting this crap.
He would never say that, though.
Yeah, that's true. They don't say anything remotely bad. Sorry, crap is a bad word, everybody. But yeah, and
everything is
bank tellers then like get out.
I'm here to say something today.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all that. It's all the most formulaic rap lyrics you can think of, and it's all about like being better at rap than your opponents, but not even in like the like abstracted way of like actual aggression. It's just like, if you come to me with some kind of beef, like
yeah. I will say, hit the road, chief.
Like they don't even like know of. Yeah, they would never even like call someone a hater.
Yeah,
like even that's too far.
Yeah. So my notes start to dwindle here because my next note after these guys start rapping loudly in a bank, it's everything is Prince, and then long sequences of music do not do this movie any good.
Yeah, so there was like, I think that's when there was like a 15-minute.
Yeah, we then got Run DMC gets on stage and they go, before we perform, Sheila E. everybody.
So then we get Sheila E.'s whole
hard
and I
cut.
guess that's no wonder that's why this is, because this was made by the record label.
Go on.
So it's just to show their talent. Like it's literally just a movie with music videos for all their talent.
I think you got it. Yeah. But yeah, then we get a performance by Sheila E., and then we get a performance by Curtis Blow, and then we get a performance by the Beastie Boys.
Which is not great.
It's horrible. They sound
I think
worse
they get
than they
booed
do on a
also.
record.
It's weird.
Do they?
Yeah, I don't know why. It was really
Did they get booed?
Yeah.
Well, then maybe
like,
they were
much.
bad on purpose.
It was really weird. I didn't know, because it was like 3 people were booing them, but they were just random audience members. Very strange.
Yeah, and then Run DMC performs. It's a lengthy scene.
So your notes are dwindling at this point. Would you say there's a definitive moment that drew you back in?
Yeah, because then the next note says, all you can eat.
My next note also says, all you can eat.
Okay, fellas. All right, so the Fat Boys, we do a hard cut to them walking out of a Subway.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot this movie takes place in New York City, so we'll get to that. But
Yeah. I was going to mention that earlier.
We'll get to that.
That's actually bizarre.
Yeah, okay, so they get out of the Subway, and you just hear, all you can eat in the background, and suddenly there's a poster that says $3.99, all you can eat.
At a Sbarro.
Really nice looking Sbarro.
I think Sbarro used to be different.
Probably.
That's the
this
vibe,
wasn't
because this.
I imagine it's based out of New York, so that was probably like an original Sbarro.
Yeah,
that was good.
maybe.
Because the pizza looked like real pizza too. I haven't had Sbarro.
Sbarro. It's bad.
It's bad?
Real bad.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, it seems like Domino's, Pizza Hut, Caesars. You know how it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I'd say like Little Caesars is probably.
I've never had Little Caesars.
Me
so-
neither, but
Oh well.
you know, in Canada, it's called Pizza.
That's just what it's called in
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
Well, that's the catchphrase.
Yeah, but it's what it's
Pizza,
called in
pizza.
Canada. It's the same company though.
It's called Pizza.
Yeah.
Do they go Pizza?
No, they go.
Little Caesars.
You got it.
So no, then we get a like really lengthy scene. I would say close to 10 minutes of the fat boys getting all they can
Loading
eat,
up their plates
like
cartoonishly.
two
Yes.
full pizzas,
Yes.
as much food as they can throw on.
chicken wings. And it's that classic like
Parmesan.
it's a classic old movies and kids media depiction of like fat people where it's like every type of food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I'm not the most healthy or like in shape guy.
Yeah.
But I don't just get like everything at the buffet. I like get a lot of the stuff that like I like.
Yeah.
Whereas in these, it's like no, somebody gets a pizza and they also have waffles with whipped cream on it. And
Yes.
then they also have anchovies.
Yes,
And then they also have just like a
smorgasbord.
nachos.
Yeah. It makes no sense. But
that way, I
they-
guess we get to see the
extent of the fat boys.
yes to the point where as they and we get to physically see the sort of cafeteria troughs
Yeah.
of food be emptied over the
Yeah.
course of
Yeah, so
the
after they
musical
yell
number
at
for
the
All You Can Eat.
employees to give them all the food,
Mm-hmm.
because he was yelling, they then just eat, and it is horrible.
It actually is. I think that's like an untapped gold mine. If you take that scene and replace the audio with like, you know that video where it's you know that video where it's Guy Fieri eating stuff, but it's they put hurt behind it.
Yes,
and
yeah.
it's like actually like you're like,
Yeah.
haha, this is funny, but then over time you're like, oh man, like this is like. Like, this dude is, like, killing himself for this. Like, wow. Like, reality TV and spectacle, but, like, we're all hollow. Like, I want that, but for the all-you-can-eat sequence.
You'll never get it.
Well, sometimes be the change you want to see in the world. Maybe I got to make that.
Yeah,
I have a
go
lot of
for
free time on my hands now.
Yeah. So yeah, they ate all they could eat because then they grabbed seconds. They grabbed an entire another pizza. They cleared out Sbarro, and like the employees start yelling at them because they already paid. They paid the $3.99.
This has to be it has to be somehow a paid promotion for Sbarro, right?
It has to be. They're like,
It's too
there's no way.
specific.
Yeah.
Um,
And if it's a place they made up, you brought this up. If
Yeah.
it's a place they made up, it'd be called something like a Funky Slice or something.
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, like,
It'd have some comedic.
all you can
fast-
beat,
Well, that doesn't even make sense.
like a beat. Like
yeah, no, but that would be too on the nose. Dan, that's too on the nose.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, it's not Disco Fever.
It'd be called Fat Boy Rapper's Favorite Rappin' Pig Out Spot.
Yeah, and then they run away from Sbarro.
Do they, at this point, see an advertisement
For what?
for a Battle of the Rappers?
No, because one of them is finishing eating a sandwich that they took from Sbarro on the steps of some apartment building.
Yes.
And one
Yes.
of them goes, you know, we're all fat boys.
Yes.
And then the one guy goes, I'm not fat, and he's got food in his mouth. You know how it is. Ooh, shut up, chunks. Anyway. Anyway, and then they then come up with the name the Fat Boys, despite one of them being a little hesitant, but then come to terms with it. Yeah, I'm a fat boy.
Yeah. And then, well, yeah.
And then they see the advertisement.
Yes.
For
That's
a
like,
rapping
hey.
competition.
Yeah, free boat ride for 3.
Yeah? Is that where this is going?
I don't know, just convenient advertisement.
Oh, okay,
That's why
okay,
it
that
says-
is
I
funny.
don't know
Yeah.
why. But yeah, they see a advertisement for a rap battle, and the winner gets a rap label, but whatever. The runner-up gets a new stereo system, and they want that.
Yeah, and then they get first place because they're so good. And they're like, no, we want.
Well, that's not until later because they show up and they rap, but they don't win. They show up. We see all of the performers in the Battle of the Rappers. All of them.
Oh, yeah. There's
Curtis Blow is like a magician.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, that's a good adjective. I got no more notes. Oh, I got one more, but that's at the end.
So, there's an exhausting rap battle section with lots of like bands, and we see all of them. And then they're the Fat Boys. Everyone loves the Fat Boys. They do well, but they don't win. Yeah, and because that's life. Rocky.
But they don't. This is not the competition with the stereo.
No.
This is just some.
No, sorry. Yeah. This was like a qualifier.
Yeah.
And then they say, hey, but you can be stand-ins, and if the people you're stand-ins for, are no-shows for whatever reason, then you'll get to be in the competition.
And then we don't find out if nobody showed up, but they're in the competition.
Yeah, that is true. Meanwhile, Russell. He's in financial trouble. He goes to get the grant. It turns out to be a predatory loan. Now he's in with some bad people. They occasionally show up to just rough him up.
Yeah.
He gets thrown around in the club. He leaves. He goes to Sheila's apartment. Mm-hmm. Says, hey, Sheila, I need a place to crash. I don't know that it's so safe out here.
Yeah.
She says, yes. A hard cut.
Oh, God.
He's lighting candles. He's
licking her leg
all
the way up the shin.
It's insane. It's like a parody of like a sensual 80s.
It's like The Room.
It is, but I mean, I think it's more romantic and less like
you are my rose, you are my rose. Nothing's more romantic than that.
Like it's more like it's soft focus, like candles.
That's true. Yeah, it's soft
everything's
lighting.
Red.
Yeah, that's true. The room is just dead on, brightly lit.
Yeah, you're seeing pores.
Yes, but yeah. So yeah, there's a sex scene.
It's not sex though.
That's true. It's just licking.
It's just intense sensuality.
Yeah. We didn't. The movie is rated R, and they didn't say any curse words or like
I
anything.
think they did actually
up until the second half.
Yeah, and none of them were worth having.
Yeah,
to
it was
have
all like you could have taken that out.
It was all. None of it was like motivated. None of it was like in line with the tone of the movie. It was all. Just like yeah,
straight up, just could
really strange.
Yeah, like
the violence
childish.
Was all very tame. Like
it was like missing punches.
At one point, he like holds Russell up by like his collar.
The scene where he gets mad at Run from Run DMC, he just grabs him and starts shaking him.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah. So
we're not talking about
Run DMC sees the error of their ways.
Yeah, well, no.
That's not until the very end, I guess.
No, they're... All right, so let's just stick with the subplot of the rappers. So Curtis Blow, Run DMC, they're at Galaxy Records.
Yes.
And Curtis isn't feeling too hot about this, guys. He is like, guys, I think we betrayed Russell and that I'm done with Galaxy Quest. I'm going home.
Yes.
I'm going back to Crush.
Yes.
Groove. And... Run DMC stays in the room and they're like, let's think about more. Mm-hmm. And then DMC of Run DMC is then like, all right, the DMC is the tall one with glasses.
Yeah.
And Run's the other. There's the short one. And DMC is like, yeah, I think Curtis was right.
I think Curtis was right.
He literally says, I think Curtis was right.
Sits down, takes glasses off.
Yeah.
I think Curtis might be right.
Yeah. And he was like, I don't feel too good about this either. And then Run is just like, but we got so much money. He's holding like a fat stack of cash.
Yes.
And
which we see at least one of them is an $100 bill.
Yes. And then DMC is like, all right, but bye. And then leaves the room. And then Run is like, oh, I just got to count my money. Starts counting it. I can't do this. And throws the money and gets on out of there. They're back at Crush Groove.
Yes.
Happy ending for the rappers.
Yes.
Or at least the already made it rappers.
Yes, the established rappers. But the competition still looms.
Is that other band not going to show up?
And they don't.
Assumedly.
Yes, we never see. The Fat Boys bring the house down. Everybody loves the Fat Boys. Everybody's shocked. It seems to be like a big deal at the time that they are, because I was also reading the Fat Boys Wikipedia page earlier, and they said a lot of their appeal was their self-deprecating humor. And it's like, because I think people were just shocked that they said that they were fat.
Yeah, we're the Fat Boys.
And that's like now standard in entertainment, pop culture, especially rap, like Fat Joe, Big Sean, like
Big Ross.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, but like it's now feels very standard, but like the fact that people were like clutching their pearls at the idea that these three kids called themselves fat. Then they rap, everyone loves them, they win, and they're like, no, but we just wanted the stereo more, and it's like, ha 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 ha, those Fat Boys.
Yeah.
And then we get some good full circle storytelling where the Fat Boys now are going to the club, going to the Disco Fever Club, and now are on the list. They have their own custom-made Fat Boys jackets. They have some ladies on their arms. They're confident. They're clean.
Yeah. They get signed.
They made it.
They get signed.
As for Crush Groove Records,
wait, I
think everything's gonna be just fine.
I don't remember the setup. I don't remember what was.
Do you just have a note that you don't?
I have a note where I'm like, I remember this happening. I can visualize it, but flashbacks.
Oh, there were flashbacks, and they were like in black and white. They were like sepia tone.
Black and white flashbacks from earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
When Russell is doing something, right?
Yeah, I think it's when he's remembering how much money trouble he's in, and the guy's like, well, if you ever need help, come to me.
Right. Yeah, is that it? I said right twice, but I'm not confident in it anymore.
So, let me add a weird wrinkle to this. That one Crush Groove movie, I looked up another movie with the Fat Boys. All of them are produced by a mob guy. A known mob guy.
Yeah.
Do you think that if this is the story of Def Jam Records, that plot line is an allusion to the fact that they took a loan from organized crime?
Yeah, probably.
That's an insane thing to put in your movie then.
Gotta stay true to life.
Yeah, but that's crazy.
Look, man. They're just telling it how it is.
I mean, like, I get that, and I would totally want that from a movie.
I like that.
I would want that like way after the fact, but at the time that seems like a very bold move.
Yeah,
that might legally implicate yourself.
Yeah, it's just a movie.
Yeah, and it's Crush Groove.
It's Crush Groove. It's not Def Jam.
Yeah. But like that's pretty crazy. Also, that like there's weird themes of organized crime throughout these movies.
Mm-hmm. So we gotta take a quick break, real quick, and we're back from the break. Yeah. What was the last note before we then took that 2-hour break back there?
You want to hear what pulls it all together? We were talking about mobsters.
Yeah.
Well,
what's pulling it all together?
December 16th, 1985.
Oh, no.
In New York City, American mafia bosses Paul Castellano and Thomas Bellotti are shot dead in front of Sparks Steakhouse, making hit organizer John Gotti
no
an international name.
Powerful Gambino crime family. And then Pope John Paul II announces instituting the World Youth Day for Catholic youths. I think there is some correlation there. I do think that mob ties run deep in not only the record industry, but also the Vatican.
Yeah, they're all Italian, dude.
It's about respect. Fugazi.
Hey, gabagoo.
Lasagna. Mama's meatballs. Don't forget the cannoli.
It's the Vatican, and it's like all the cardinals and stuff, and they're just sitting at a table with that's the tablecloth is just red and white checked.
Yeah, it's
there's a real melty candle in the middle.
Yeah, and they're all eating like steaks off of paper plates. All right, so I want to talk about
baseball.
I want to talk about one last aspect of this movie, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this thing called the Men in Black effect that I came up with.
You came up. This is your pet project. You said this, and I assumed it was a pre-established thing.
No, because when I was a kid, I watched Men in Black, and I saw the World Trade Center, and I was like, "Oh, right, this is before 9/11 happened."
Yes.
So when you get shots of the city, you see the Twin Towers.
Yes.
So from then on out, it was the Men in Black effect,
where it's just every shot of the New York City skyline.
Yeah, any movie
9/11
filmed before 9/11 that has the World Trade Center, boom, that's the Men in Black effect.
And most movies set in New York have at least one establishing shot of the skyline to let you know.
And Men in Black is not the last movie to come out that had the World Trade Center. It was made years before the event. But
they did know that it was going to happen.
Yeah, no. Tommy Lee and Will Smith knew Rip Torn was behind it.
That's why they weren't in the World Trade Center when it happened.
Who are you going to call? The Men in Black. Anyway, so this movie has shots of New York City, aerial shots.
Of the skyline.
None of which include the World Trade Center.
It's actually insane. They have multiple series of establishing shots of the skyline, none of which include the Twin Towers, which are the iconic symbol at that time other than the Chrysler Building or the
Empire State.
Empire State, or maybe Statue of Liberty.
Flatiron Building.
But even then,
Can I get some Flatiron fans up in here?
No.
So, yeah.
Well, and because also, doesn't every shot of the Brooklyn Bridge and the skyline behind it have the Twin Towers in it?
Yeah. No, yes. The Twin Towers are like the huge two buildings that were like, boom.
Nowhere to be found in this movie.
Scene setter.
It was actually incredible.
Yeah. I was shocked. Because we started and we saw a montage in New York City. I was like, huh, we didn't see.
Because we both shared a glance of oh, it's only a matter of time until we see the Twin Towers, and that will be a note that we write.
Yeah.
Never happens. No, it never happened.
Yeah. And Twin Towers were finished building in 1973. I don't see why they weren't in this movie. Come on, guys. Yeah.
It's a real coffee cup situation.
Yeah, it's weird. So
except the coffee cup was the Twin Towers.
So now if you watch a movie that takes place in New York,
it's like, you know how they left.
No, before 9/11, that is now the Crush Groove effect. Because it's not in the movie.
Yeah. It's like between when it was built and but it's not in
but it's not in the movie.
Yeah, no, it really is like that episode of Game of Thrones where they forget that they have the Twin Towers in the background.
Dude, what a continuity error on their end.
Yeah, what a slip up. I hope someone got fired for that.
How does a show with that much production values leave
the Twin Towers
just lying on the table? Then, in one scene, Twin Towers are there. Next scene, not there. Doesn't make any sense, dude. I just realized my own joke.
This is the worst show on the radio, and in many senses,
dude, this ain't the Howard Stern program.
In many senses
of the dig word. At Howard Stern. Yeah. Watch out, Stern.
Yeah.
Watch out, Robin. Watch out, Baba Booey. Watch out, Artie
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Is Beetlejuice a movie that takes place in New York?
Beetlejuice is a character in the Howard Stern.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, of course. He's the short guy.
Yeah.
Who has that crazy voice.
But this is up there for worst show in many senses of the word. Just drawing attention to the worst aspects of culture.
Are you talking about our show?
Yeah.
Oh, are we now dissecting our own program? No, I like that.
The worst show only existed at this point. Draw attention to the worst things.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Not really enjoy going through them on any level.
No, I'd say most things we watch we do not end up liking. That being said, Gotti will always remain great.
Yeah, Gotti. Yes. Yeah. Do we want to talk about the last movie actually that we're going to talk about? Did bring me joy.
Yeah, the last movie was funny. I liked that.
It was happier. It had a plot. It had a baffling plot.
Yeah. So we just explained the plot of that movie to you, Crush Groove, and that took us a while to piece together. It was,
but not
clear.
Much happened in the movie.
Yeah, no. What we said happened over an hour 40 minutes, and most of it was music videos. So didn't get a whole lot. This other movie we got going on here, though.
We can talk the most about this one.
Yeah, we saved this for last because this is easily like extensive. This is great. I didn't really know this movie even existed up until you suggested it. Talking about Vanilla Ice's Cool as Ice, the 1991 cult comedy classic. You said that this killed Vanilla Ice's career.
I saw an article
true.
titled like the story behind the movie that killed Vanilla Ice's career.
Yeah, that's not true because it came out in 1991 and so did his first album. So I'm going to go with a big fat. Yeah, that's not the case. Because Ice Ice Baby was always a thing from 1991 on. You want me to read the plot on Google?
Cool as Ice. No, unless it's nothing like the. Unless it's
really funny. All right.
Okay, go for it.
Johnny (parentheses Vanilla Ice) is a rebellious rapper whose ice cold heart thaws when he sets eyes on Kristen Minter (parentheses Kristen Minter). What? They couldn't be more different. She's a straight A student whose biggest thrills come from horseback riding. He's a moody misfit who tears up the street with his yellow motorcycle. It won't be easy to win her heart, especially with Kristen's athletic ex-boyfriend blocking the way. But when her dad gets in trouble with gangsters, Johnny proves his worth.
Again, each one has gangsters.
This one's different, though. This one's like 20 years after Goodfellas type gangsters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But not really, because the dude's like a cop. So, opening scene is actually just a music video.
And also, so just like when you're going into this, you got to remember that it's 1991.
Oh no! no!
The Yugoslav Air Force bombed the office of the president of Croatia, which at the time was Franjo Tudman, who narrowly escaped with his life.
Was this the year that Albania held its first multi-party election?
No. You idiot.
Weird that you say that.
And on the day that this was released, the Soviet Union restored their diplomatic relations with Israel, which had been suspended since the 1967 Six-Day War.
I also heard that 55 tornadoes broke out in the central United States, killing a total of 21 people. Most notable tornado being the one that was like a day long, that was like in Andover, Kansas.
I think I remember. I heard that there was a spree of tornadoes that year, the most notable of which
there's an even crazier one. A tropical cyclone hits Bangladesh, killing an estimated 138,000 people.
I mean, that's usually like,
that's so devastating.
The worst like natural hurricanes and tsunamis and stuff all hit like Bangladesh and that exact area of the world, like, you know, the area between like Burma and India.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the most densely populated regions in the world. Yeah.
Wind cycle or something.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Oh, Supreme Justice Thurgood Marshall announces their plans to retire that year.
The Anita Hill hearings happened.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
That has a lot to do with this
Shout
movie.
outs to 2020 presidential hopeful.
Where's this going?
Mr. Joe Biden, who was on that committee.
No.
Yeah, he was pretty...
What did he say?
He was not good.
Oh, no.
He was not good. His wife actually released like an op-ed the other day that said like, it's time to move on from the whole Anita Hill thing.
No.
All right, back to industry professionals.
No, because here's the thing. People were never on the Anita Hill thing, it seems. It seems like people immediately moved on.
Yeah. Well, it's just preempting. I mean, it's just trying to get ahead of the fact that that's going to come up and look bad. Very bad in our current, like...
Yeah, especially
climate.
when he becomes the primary candidate.
Yeah.
I really hope that doesn't happen, everybody. You heard it here first. Those are my political views. I don't want Joe Biden. All right, so let's get on to Cool as Ice. Basically about a 1990s Joe Biden.
No. Not at all. So it starts off
there was that scene where Vanilla Ice was like, no, I think Anita Hill is lying.
He said, what can I say? I'm just a really physical guy. That's how I show that,
Yeah.
I'm just a touchy guy.
Yeah. No, okay. We're moving on from the joke. We're done. That's bad.
I love the war in Iraq.
I don't know if we should put this one on the SoundCloud.
So yeah, it starts off with just a musical number. Vanilla Ice is rapping in like a
5 minutes.
warehouse.
Yeah, and there's just like dancers.
Yeah, it's kind of
Cuts to black a lot.
I truly believe that it's the same warehouse that was used to film the music video for "Good Vibrations" by Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Most likely.
Because it looks exactly the same. It's just like where there's fences in this warehouse and like puddles of water.
Yeah.
Except in that one they're working out, and in this one they're breakdancing.
Edited like that scene in Bohemian Rhapsody where it's just like a headache,
where he's like,
where it's just constant. No.
Are you ready to go live, boys? By the way.
But apparently that is what happens in Bohemian Rhapsody. Apparently he tells them he has AIDS right before they run out into the Live Aid concert.
I mean, like, I get how that's a good scene.
All right. But that's not what the Live Aid concert was about.
Yes.
Which I then think will create some confusion amongst the masses.
That's probably true.
Including me, who when I first heard that, I was like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense in the movie. But then I found out the Live Aid performance was not at all that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, then that doesn't make sense. Thanks, Bryan Singer. Anyway, so.
Yeah. The worst thing you've done is that movie.
Stop it. So, cut to, after this 5-minute music video.
They drive bikes in unison. They're in a.
There's
like
4 people on motorcycles.
Yes.
Bright yellow motorcycles.
Yes. One of them is like zebra striped though.
That's true. Zigzag.
Everything in this movie, every element, everything that a cool person in this movie owns,
polka dots or zebras,
is just visually a mess.
Zigzags.
Yeah,
zigzags everywhere.
Half of his hair is zigzags. Half of his hair is checkerboard.
Half of his left eyebrow is not there.
Yeah, just random.
He has a jacket that says "sex me up" on it, including many other things.
In words. One says height. Lust. One says like cool as ice.
Yeah. So yeah, they're driving in the countryside.
He is not Vanilla Ice.
He's Johnny.
He is not Vanilla Ice, despite his multiple references to ice. The concept of ice, wordplay involving ice,
a certain scene,
the best scene in the movie.
Yes. So,
they go through. They're driving out in the desert in unison.
Not in the desert, just countryside.
Okay. They end up in a small town.
A horse.
There's
a girl riding a horse, and Vanilla Ice sees girl riding a horse. Vroom vroom's up next to her. Then decides to cut off the horse, jumps the fence, stops the horse. The horse almost like flies right into it. And then she's like, hey, dude, what gives? And then he was like, what do you mean what gives? And she's like, you just tried to like kill me and my horse. And he's like, nah, that's not what I'm about. I knew what I was doing. And then she was like, man, you're a real jerk.
She's like, you ride that horse like good. And she's like, that's probably a compliment coming from a macho biker type like you, which doesn't really make sense.
Essentially, she's like, man, dude, you're kind of a jerk. Please get out of my way. And then he says, yup, she likes me.
So they
mentality.
Basically, one of the bikes breaks down in like this small, simpler town where folk aren't used to people like Mr. Ice.
Can I add a note?
Yeah.
So Vanilla Ice's motorcycle has a license plate, and under the license plate number, it just says "State of Mind."
Yes.
Beautiful. Carry on.
I forgot about that.
I couldn't.
They need to get the bike fixed, and it's by this guy named Roscoe.
Classic Roscoe.
Now Roscoe has a musical theme that's like it sounds like an N64 video game soundtrack. It's like
yeah,
it's real
Zelda.
Weird.
It's straight up like you meet the fat guy in Zelda or something, and it's like y'all get it. So Roscoe then promises to fix this guy's bike because he's the only guy in town who can do it.
Yes.
And then we cut
every scene in Roscoe's house is bizarre and is like a weird moment of magical realism.
Dude, what? Okay. All right. So hard cut to a room that we have not seen before. We do not know where it is.
Yes.
It is dimly lit, but all we can see...
One might assume it's a dream sequence.
One might assume it's a crack house, because that's what it looks like. And there's just newspaper writing on the wall, or like, typed writing on the wall, but in like huge letters, all around the place. One dude is like in the corner with a plastic gun, just going bang, 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 shooting stuff. and there's like another guy sitting at a table who's got like a piece of white bread, puts 3 pickle slices on it.
Yeah.
Like the long boys, not chips.
Everything that happens with his crew hanging out in this
ketchup,
place is like a weird,
no
like
sense.
David Lynch thing.
Yeah.
It's all
straight
like
up. It's
surreal.
And then it cuts to that, and then Vanilla Ice dancing in the junkyard.
Well,
where
all of the other people are asleep.
Yeah.
In the yard is like a bunch of globes.
Yeah. Straight up.
There's a bunch of clocks.
There's 6 clocks all set to the same time. Not even different times. Oops. And then
there's big salt.
okay, so it's one of those perspective shots where, like, the salt and pepper shaker's closer, so it looks bigger, but then it just turns out the person grabs it with 2 hands, and it's just a giant salt shaker.
And it was at this point that Dan was like, oh, so maybe these are like music videos where it's like,
Yeah.
they're sort of these self-contained moments of absurdism and surrealism.
Yeah, and I was like, we've never met these characters. This is wild. Turns out, nope, it was the crew. They were just hanging out inside while Vanilla Ice was dancing.
Yes.
And
yeah. So
after this sequence, can I just talk about what happens next?
Yeah.
So we meet the family of this girl.
Yeah.
This is the craziest thing in the world.
It is insane.
This is like a fever dream. This is like the scenes in Insidious when he's in the upside down or whatever it's called, and like they're all smiling weird and moving quick at
real
points.
Fast.
Yeah, straight up like.
Like whenever you see an old video taken in like 1910 or something, everything's like sped up and it's really unnatural.
It looks like that, but a little bit faster,
and
it's
in like a
weird.
fisheye lens. So it's like a pop punk music video.
Yeah, it's very 90s, I guess, but.
Pick it up.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because it's like 3 minutes long and it's like following the little boy just running around the house.
Yeah.
And then like, the mom will just be creepily, like wide-eyed, wide smile, frozen.
Which is very
while
90s,
dancing
like
and then
this.
also doing things.
Which is very nice. And like the dad is just reading the newspaper and the kid's got his eyes glued to the TV. Like it could be like a music video for like The Offspring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like
but it doesn't
making
fit
a statement.
Here. It does not fit.
Yeah,
here.
I guess it just shows that they're squares, but I don't really know why.
And then
it
I believe
exists.
after that we get more montages.
But we also get the vibe that the dad is evil.
I don't think we get that vibe. I think we just get the vibe that he's a
hiding
hardo.
something.
He's a hardo. He's a strict dad. Is he hiding something? I don't remember any implication of that.
The kid on TV.
Right.
Because the kid is really proud of riding horses, so they're all sitting together as a family.
Right.
Meanwhile, 2 seedy figures at a bar are
watching
also
the
watching
same
this.
local TV station.
Yes.
Yeah.
And are like, that's him. That's the guy.
We know who
it
that
is. It is.
That's the
It is Grand Theft Auto 5. It is the plot of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, no, he doesn't say anything. It's implied through another scene. That's right. Okay. Then we get another montage. I don't remember what that was, but I have the montages in this movie are jarring because I believe right after the family one there was another montage.
Well, there are a couple sequences. One, Vanilla Ice runs into this girl in town.
Oh, with her boyfriend,
Yes.
who's like a Chad who needs to get bent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, come along, whatever her name is, both in this movie and in real life, because...
Kristen Minter.
Come along, Kristen. We have no time for this riffraff. But he steals her diary.
Oh my god. Okay, so he meets the boyfriend and her, gives her a hug, I guess, at some point.
I don't think that even
gets
happens.
close to her.
I don't think he does.
I think he does.
He maybe like dances up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something happens. Either way, we don't see it, but he steals her pocket or her journal and then tells
But it's like her like personal planner.
Yeah,
she
it's like
says.
her agenda. It's like and then he tells her right in front of her boyfriend, "Yo, drop the 0 and get with the hero."
Yeah.
And then she smiles.
Yeah.
Cuz we can tell that despite him just acting like an arrogant prick the entire time and just telling her to dump her current boyfriend that she get with him. And she does. She likes him. She thinks he's a charming.
Yeah,
and
they
is
dance
rambunctious
together rather
Oh my god. Was that when he laid on top of her?
Yeah.
Oh my god. He tackles her while dancing and then the boyfriend's like, whoa, 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 what? And then they're all like, what gives? Like, oh, we're just dancing.
So then she's headed home. And the men in black, these seedy bar characters, are tailing her.
Yeah.
All looks lost for her. Vanilla Ice pulls up on his motorcycle.
Out of nowhere.
Vroom, says,
vroom.
hop on.
Yep. She then gets on. She obliges.
And they lose these goons.
Yep. And, oh my God.
They then, I guess, like, sneak into her room?
No.
Too late?
He drops her off. He drops her off because there's a whole dialogue scene. And she, essentially, the scene is like, he's just like, I want to go out with you. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. And then he just goes, after she leaves, he says to himself, ugh, this again. Implying that he has had to steal many girls before and convince girls who do not want him to. Yeah.
My next note is an extreme moment between them, and I don't know what transpires.
I have Ice saves the day, and then the next line also has to do with Ice.
Yeah, what happens in between these?
I'm going to say nothing. No, something has to happen, right?
I think she was maybe like, maybe it was like,
can I come inside? And she's like, no.
No, but like, there's the implication that they're really into each other.
Yeah, but then he drives away.
So what the hell happens?
You know, maybe it just cuts to this scene.
Is that why it was so jarring to us partially?
I think it was jarring to us just based off the actions committed.
Just describe the scene. The next scene as far as we remember.
It's morning. Close
Daylight
up.
Filters through the window.
Yeah, her window and her curtains. And she's sleeping, Kristen Minter. As Kristen Minter is sleeping. And suddenly we see drops pour on her face a bit. And then a hand comes down and puts ice in her mouth.
Like ice cubes.
Literally just puts like a melted ice cube.
Like sensuously.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say that.
I would say so.
He just puts her in her mouth. And then she wakes up and is like, oh, hey, how did you get in my room?
I would say it's supposed to be a sexy thing.
Of course it's supposed to be, but it was not. It was, I don't know about you, but I don't think waking people up with ice in the mouth is sexy.
Yeah.
But he does it, and she likes it. And then she's like, oh, hey, how did you break into my room? How are you here, sir? And, you know, he's just like, you know me. I love me a room with a fish bowl full of 14 different kind of fish.
Yeah, because everything in this movie has a weird vibe of magical realism.
Some angle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, the fish bowl isn't even filtered. There's nothing else in it. Those fish do not have long to live.
Yeah. So
I just really hope Ice.
She then is like, I need to change.
Oh, God.
And he's like, I'm going to leave. And then she's like, no, it's fine.
No. She's like, I'm going to change. You should leave. And then he goes,
and then he's like,
but why?
No. He's like, no, that's cool.
No, dude, it's good.
It's actually fine.
I've seen my sisters naked before.
Yes, yeah. Okay, now I remember.
Yeah.
And then but the little brother barges in.
Yeah, and she's like about to take off her shirt because she's wearing nothing underneath.
Because the little brother is
like thinks Vanilla Ice is super cool.
Has taken a shine to Vanilla Ice.
Which is fair. I think if I was an 8-year-old boy in the 90s, I'd be like, Vanilla Ice seems pretty cool. Especially if he was trying to go out with my sister.
Yeah.
So, you know, classic little brother ruining the sex.
Yes.
Or the naked lady. And she's like, little brother. And Vanilla Ice's like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Come on,
so we then they're like, hey, let's go have a day of fun, I guess. So, because the next thing is a montage, an extensive montage of them going out into the desert. And like playing around in a construction site,
like a house that's being built. All that's up are wooden, wood
2x4s.
2x4s. Yeah.
There's like the frame of the house.
Like the frame. There it is. Just the frame is up, and they're
running. They're running, and it's very like childlike, like playing around,
like turning a corner and just going
and being like
laughing.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's
shots of like
bizarre.
now they're in the desert.
Dancing,
now
doing cartwheels.
Yeah, doing cartwheels. Now they're riding horseback. Now they're riding motorcycles and he's shirtless.
They're teaching
now
each
he's
other
dancing
their
shirtless.
things.
Now they're back at the construction site.
Yeah,
and there's this thing that like bangs on the ground. There's a machine that bangs on the ground at the construction site, and that's important.
I don't remember this.
It's important for later.
Drawing blanks. Serious.
It's like a construction vehicle that's like.
What does that mean?
It's important later.
I don't remember this. This is great. I seriously have no idea what that is. Does that actually come?
So there's then they get back, and the dad is presumably like, I don't want you hanging out with this rapper anymore.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like this.
Then the 2 Men in Black guys show up at the door, and they're like, hey,
Hey, Joe.
Joe, it's been a long time, hasn't it? We thought you were dead.
And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's clear that he does know what they're talking about.
He got nervous.
Yeah.
Once
and
they're
like,
his real name.
They're like, something threatening.
Yeah.
We want.
Give us money within the next 24 hours. You owe us money because of what
Yes.
you did. And
it is at this point that
24 hours.
that he sits down his daughter and explains to her that there was an internal affairs sting.
Hold on. That is not when he explains it to her. More scenes have to happen. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because the younger brother.
Yeah.
Oh, what's he going? He's somewhere. It's like soccer practice or something. What's he at? What's he at that he just up and ditches? Like halfway through.
Soccer practice. Yes.
It is soccer practice.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. He goes soccer and he's like, sport's dumb. I'm leaving. I'm going to go find me some Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice is just sitting around doing. He's heartbroken because she is not allowed to go out with him anymore.
Yes.
So he's just sitting on the couch and then he's like, hey, Ice, or hey, Johnny, can we hang out? And then he goes, nah, I'm busy. After a montage of him doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kid's like, but you're so cool. And then he goes, you're right. I am. Let's go on the motorcycle. They hit the town. They get ice cream. They do all sorts of fun stuff. Fun stuff that kids want to do.
Yes, you're right.
Vanilla Ice is a good father figure. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And then he returns the little boy to the house. He drops him off the sidewalk, like, get off the bike, go in your house. And then he watches the kid go in, and he's like, wait, I need to get in that house. And he then just goes around the side, jumps through a window, puts the promise ring that him and Kristen Minter have in the fishbowl. That's why I brought up the fishbowl earlier. Everybody, good setup and payoff. And then splits. So hangs out with the little boy all day, then breaks into their house. But while he breaks into the house, the mobsters are already in there, and they kidnap the boy.
And it's a weirdly brutal kidnapping.
Yes, no,
sequence.
it is serious. It is dark.
It's weirdly like you're like, oh, is this going to be like Home Alone? And the answer is no.
No, they just kidnap him.
Yeah,
it's straight up like and then the parents are like, where is our kid?
Yes.
Later on, nobody else is in the house now. This is hours later.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God,
Vanilla Ice
where's
stops
the child?
by to see.
Vanilla Ice then comes on the front porch, sees a yellow envelope, kinds of bubble wrap in them, picks it up, and then knocks on the door and is like, let me date your daughter, yo. And then the dad's like, we got bigger concerns right now than you. And he goes, well, you might want to see this. And he says, you might want this.
Yeah.
Like something very ominous when handing over this yellow envelope.
Yeah, he's like, he says, this is for you.
This is for you. Yes. And then he just walks away. And then they find out it's a little audio cassette. They play it, and it's the little boy.
The kid, reading under duress a message.
And he's just like, you have 24 hours to return the money, or else I won't come back. Stuff like that.
Yeah, or else I won't come back.
Yeah.
Like, it's very
exactly.
Whoa.
And then the parents immediately are like, Vanilla Ice did this. There's no way. And it makes sense.
It's fully justified. He's a drifter that came into the town. He started being obsessed with this girl, broke into their house multiple times, is real close with the little brother and takes him out for bike rides past city limits.
Takes him out for a day. Nobody else sees the kid.
Yeah, it is.
And then, so all evidence points to Vanilla Ice.
At this point, does the dad explain to her what's going on?
Yes, this is when that happens.
So he sits
it was after
down
the audio
on the bed,
tape.
and he's like, "Well, we used to work together in there was some like internal affairs sting
Yeah.
that went bad.
Went south.
That went south, and it led to me being put in witness protection. What is this movie? This is the Vanilla Ice movie.
Yeah. No. I remember halfway through
Has
that
a
scene,
subplot
I was
about
like, this is
kidnapping
cool
and
as
like
ice.
and like
Yeah.
it's all about a sting that went bad years ago. Like,
yeah.
What?
And now they're in the witness protection. Had to change their names. So did Mom. And then
And the only reason Vanilla Ice witnesses this is because one of their bikes broke down.
yeah. The only reason why he's here is because somebody's bike. But that's inciting incident. That doesn't.
Yeah, but like that's
Hey, coincidences to get you into trouble? Great. Coincidences to get you out of trouble? Not so much. That's Screenwriting 101 for you, bud.
I don't know about that.
That is like a screenwriting tip.
I think, but I just like
Nobody wants to see a coincidence
But-
save
but-
the people at the end. Come
yeah,
on, it has to be
No,
earned.
I agree with that.
But a coincidence getting you into trouble? That's fine.
it depends. Because this
Okay,
has
no,
nothing.
that's
It has
true.
nothing to do with. It doesn't matter that Vanilla Ice is Vanilla Ice for the events of this, right?
Yeah, of course.
His character doesn't matter whatsoever.
No, it's Johnny.
So then, the coincidence of his car breaking, of a bike breaking down, like he should get into the situation because of something that has to do with him and solve it through something that has to do with.
But
him.
no, he's a rapper. Yeah, he's a moody misfit. That's what Google tells me.
So
Okay, so
they listen to the recording over and
they
over.
listen to
and
the
over.
recording and they're like, yeah, Vanilla Ice did this because he just dropped off the tape and he's been breaking into our house. And then she's like, he wouldn't do that. I know him.
Yeah,
Despite being like, what, 2 days? Something
yeah.
like that?
I watched that movie, Abducted in Plain Sight, and this is how it works. The dude preys on each member of the family in turn, brainwashing them.
Yeah. And I was even like, I could see it being Vanilla Ice here because a lot of evidence leads to that.
There is no way.
Despite being shown that the boy is kidnapped by other people.
So,
But yeah, she is like, no.
Vanilla Ice then is like, I gotta think of something. He takes the tape back to where his crew is enjoying rap music.
Well, no, he then, the girl's like, my parents think you did it. You tell me it's
Yeah.
not true. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he's like, let me listen to it. And
Yes.
he listens to it and he hears, "Shtung."
That's what I was saying earlier.
That makes sense. Okay. I don't remember that we saw that in the
We did.
montage.
It was otherwise that would be really lame.
That's set up and that's payoff.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's there.
I would say in this movie it is.
It's the only thing that makes it funny is that the shot of the construction machine. I was like, that's the best shot they've had in the movie so far because it like has an interesting thing going on in the foreground and also that. But no, it was planting something. Like
Yeah, no. Well, makes it even better. The seed is set.
You're right, but like no.
Oh, what is it? Cheesy or something? Okay. So he's then like, that's the factory where we danced and did weird stuff together.
Yes.
It
then cuts to the kidnappers who are now unhinged. In what
it's like Wario and Waluigi.
It actually again is another thing that in a different context I feel would be very disturbing because they are legitimately unhinged and unpredictable.
But then they say like the craziest stuff.
What do they say? Do you remember any of this?
Okay, so I have 2 quotes written down.
Okay.
So they're in this building.
They're in this pitch black
Building.
Building under construction.
Coming in through a window.
Well, they have flashlights.
Oh, that's true.
And they're like waving the flashlights around, and he's like, "Ho!" And then he's like shining the light in the kid's face, and he's like, "How you doing over there, buddy?" And I'm like, "This is really scary. This is like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer or something. Like this is very
Straight
viscerally
up.
upsetting.
So yeah.
It's like Pennywise."
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So. So the Vanilla Ice is like, hey, crew and Kristen Minter, let's go get these guys because I know where they are.
Yeah.
They then pull into like the lot, and the guy sees them from a distance and goes, "Oh no, the Martians are here."
Yeah, he's like, the Martians are here. Are they going to take us back to Mars?
Yeah.
Are they, kid? Are they going to take us back to Mars in a spaceship?
Yeah.
And you're like, this is...
Yeah. And then
horrifying.
And then eventually Vanilla Ice motorcycles through a wall into this house. And then the one mobster turns to the little kid and goes, "Is that your Martian leader?"
No, but watching them flip a switch and become insane in a way that's accidentally kind of very real.
Yeah.
In that they're just deranged fully was the biggest treasure of this movie for me. My favorite thing was being like, this is disturbing.
Yeah. It gets nuts. I was actually taken back by like how serious the movie got while also still having the lead be Vanilla Ice. Like,
yeah,
you know?
So they're like, kid, we're going to get you, something. Then they're like, do you hear that? What? And then all of a sudden the wall caves in because Vanilla Ice crashes through it with the rest of his gang on motorcycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they save the day.
They save the day. They tie them up to the hood of their car.
I forgot about that.
They return. There's one last scene where
I don't remember anything after
where
that
the boyfriend is like, "Hey, are you ready to go to college with me?
Right.
We're going to. What are you doing with this trash? Someone left the trash out here.
Yeah.
What are they even doing?" And then she's like, "No, I'm gonna go with him now."
So the Chad gets bent.
Mm-hmm.
Boy is rescued.
Yeah.
Dad accepts Vanilla Ice and the mother because save the boy.
Yes.
And won over Kristen Minter's heart.
Yes. Then
and Roscoe fixed the bike because his method of fixing things is sometimes if you don't understand something, you just take it all apart and then put it back together. And that's what he did, and it worked.
And then there's one last dance scene at the warehouse, but Kristen Minter is in the audience.
Oh, you remember that?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's it. It's Vanilla Ice.
Cool
as
ice. I know, but my version goes. Now I'm listening. I don't really hear a difference.
My version goes. All you can eat.
All you can eat.
All you can eat.
All you can eat. Deborah.
Sid. Yeah, what do we got? Like 10 more minutes?
Sid, quit fooling around. Look out, Sloth. There's a saber tooth. I'm from Queens. Me and my two friends.
On October 27th of 2000, declares its independence from the Soviet Union.
Jesus. Honestly, we should just have a Ray Romano podcast.
My brother's tool.
Mom, get out of the kitchen.
Deborah.
Dad, why are you so bald?
Yeah, so this is like the worst radio show anyone has.
No, it's not. I'm not dropping the Ray Romano voice.
Do you have any thoughts of other content? Because we've been watching. Look, I don't want to spoil things for people.
We haven't been watching anything. We watched 3 episodes of Entourage.
You've watched 3 episodes of Entourage. I've watched 6 episodes of Entourage.
Oh, no.
If I close out a season of Entourage, that means we have to do an episode.
All right. But here's the thing. Season 1 is not where it's at in terms of content. You got to start... You gotta do season 3. You gotta do Queens Boulevard. You gotta do the Aquaman season.
Okay.
You gotta do the Median season.
Okay.
You gotta do the Great The Great Gatsby is actually.
How many episodes are in a season?
Entourage, give me an entourage a second. Entourage, I'm Jeremy Piven. I say the F word a lot. All right. IMDb. Hurry it up. Let's go. Chip, chop, chip. Let's load. Total of 96 episodes over a few seasons. All right, so let's say season 2 has... Oh, they're not numbered. This sucks. I'm going to say like 12 episodes each, maybe.
That's why I say we like 24-hour this bad boy.
All right.
Why would you agree to that?
Because, I don't know, that seems like a 24 hours that I will be like, yeah. I spent 24 hours doing Entourage.
All right.
Don't expect it, but expect it, folks.
Yes.
You want to hear something funny, actually? I was working yesterday, actually, and I was talking to the bagger, being like, yeah, Entourage is a show I watched in high school, and oh boy, is it terrible. And the customer was like this middle-aged woman right in front of me. He goes, I like Entourage.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the opposite of the demo.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But then I was like, You know, I was like, well, I watched it in high school, and I guess I liked it in high school. But even in high school, I was like, this is bad. But I only watched it because my parents love it. Both parents love that show. So I was like, maybe, and this woman seemed about the age of them. So I was like, maybe there's just like a generational thing.
Maybe.
Where like, you know, hey, I'm in my late 30s and I'm living in the suburbs. Let's see what Hollywood is like, HBO. Thanks. That's what Entourage is. Why aren't you saying anything, Ben?
Because Game of Thrones is really bad.
Yo, okay, so get this, everybody. You know me, big guy. Here's the thing. The ongoing... Oh, whoa, Season 3 has... Oh, right, Season 3 is 2 parts. There are 10 episodes a season. Entourage. Hey, Benjamin. Ben. Entourage is 10 episodes per season.
Ugh.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I had to get his attention for some reason.
Because I am not available.
So, yeah, Game of Thrones, everybody. You know me. Ongoing bit that I don't know a ton about but I know just enough to spew some nonsense. Well, this week on Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage found... Was he not even in the episode? Why are you smiling?
No, because it's just... No, I'm just smiling.
Peter Dinklage finds that sword that got all broken up way back in history by the guys. He puts it back together. No, you know the sword. It gets broken. It's the really important sword.
Yeah.
You know, like the one guy with the big silver metal armor breaks the sword.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so then... he's
the
at
shards of Narsil.
Yeah, and he's then like at that giant tower,
the blade of Isildur,
with the big eye or whatever,
yeah.
And he gets on a eagle dragon.
Yeah,
and
but then Voldemort.
Like, no, what?
You're like, dude, those are two different things.
Those are separate entities. Anyway, so he's on the dragon, and he's got the the gem or whatever it is. And he dips into that volcano. And boom, Arya Stark gets naked. The end.
Gem.
No, but in actuality, folks, I have been watching Game of Thrones. Started from Season 2, Episode 9.
It's great.
Greatest starting point for a television program. I actually enjoy it now. Thanks.
It's really, really
thanks,
good.
everybody, for being right.
Yeah, but...
You're all welcome.
Yeah.
Or thank you. Whatever I should say. You told me so.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't believe that Breaking Bad is good, though.
Dude, shut up.
I think it probably sucks.
You haven't seen
I think it's bad.
Here's like, I never took a stance. I was like, yeah, Game of Thrones is bad. I was always just like...
No, man. Breaking Bad sucks. Get out of here with that trash.
But I was always just like, I can't get into it. I don't like medieval stuff.
Okay, yeah, Walter White, big deal. Okay, hey, Jesse.
Deals meth. Meth is bad for people.
Jesse, we started good... But you ever notice that we're bad now? That's sort of the thing.
Yeah, we sort of broke into
it. And then at one
it.
point he's like, but we need Saul to help us with the Mexicans. So then Saul helps out, and that's a whole thing.
That's like a season.
And there's that guy.
Jim.
The guy from Breaking...
Jim.
Monta something.
Mike?
I don't know.
Gus.
Maybe.
You might be
I think
thinking
I'm Gus.
Gus is like Gus.
There's the guy from Community.
Which guy from Community?
He's got a big nose.
Chevy Chase.
No. He's got like he's bald. He's like older. He's got like a...
Mike.
Yes.
Mike, he talks like
Yeah. That guy's in it.
old.
And he goes up and he's like...
In the movie Identity Thief.
He's like Walt Jr. just overdosed on meth. And so they go and they're like, we need to get all these barrels.
We need to put adrenaline in them.
We need to get all these barrels, fill them up with some of our special blue meth, and get in some. We're gonna hide in these suits. So they hide in some like hazmat suits.
They're hiding in them while making.
And then they get eaten by a fly.
Oh. Do you know that Rian Johnson is the most polarizing
No, don't say that, dude.
director?
We're going to get calls.
Rian Johnson directed the highest rated episode of Breaking Bad while also directing the lowest rated episode of Breaking Bad. Similar to another franchise he is the MVP of, where he directed one Star Wars movie that people really didn't like and then a Star Wars movie that people really did like. The highest rated and the lowest rated. He directed both.
In the Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people really hate The Last Jedi.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And then, other people really love The Last Jedi.
Okay. Yeah. I follow.
Totally. It was meant to be an actual bit.
No, but I just agree with your stance.
Ugh. Don't do that.
I thought you were saying, he directed A New Hope and Attack of the Clones.
Why would you choose those two?
I guess it would be the most hated I think Attack of the Clones is the most hated despite not being the worst.
Whoa! Other way around, Chief.
I think
what's
Phantom Menace.
The worst?
Phantom Menace.
Nope, you're wrong. Phantom Menace is the most hated. Attack of the Clones is the worst. Phantom Menace is easily the most hated because Jar Jar, whatever, let's pod. This is pod.
But I think people don't like Kid Anakin.
Stupid.
But I think what people like the least of any type of thing is a pretty boy. So I think they hate Hayden Christensen way more than they hate Jake. What's his name?
Lloyd.
Thank you.
Wow. Look at me. Phantom Menace is more notoriously hated than Attack of the Clones. I can prove this. Ready? And I know what proof is. It's called Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on. I am gonna check the scores. Just give me all the movies. Don't give me any of the new ones. Okay, ready? Phantom Menace.
I also bet there's enough in Attack of the Clones that kids thought was cool at the time that they'd be more into it.
Phantom Menace has a 54 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.5 on IMDb. Attack of the Clones has got a 65 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.6 on IMDb. Although this was the first one that Roger Ebert reviewed that he gave a bad review. He gave Phantom Menace 4 stars.
Wow.
Here's the thing, though.
What did he give My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
It's 1999. Star Wars was a thing 15 years ago.
Yeah.
That was when the last one came out.
Mm-hmm.
There's this new movie coming up, and it's hype.
Yeah.
The trailer is hype. You go see it as a Star Wars fan, there's no way it's not hype.
That's true.
But then you watch it again, you're like,
yeah,
there's some cracks here.
Yeah.
Very similar to the trajectory that another franchise called Star Wars would take in the 2015.
The other thing you got to remember, it's 1999.
No,
King Hussein of Jordan dies from cancer, and his son Abdullah II inherits the throne. U.S. President Bill Clinton is acquitted in impeachment proceedings in the United States Senate.
George Lucas may have gone a little far in a few places.
May have.
No, yeah, Attack of the Clones is easily the worst.
Yeah. All right.
No, you said it's not. Give me your case. You got 3 minutes.
Attack of the Clones, you said, is the worst?
I say it's worse than Phantom Menace. You say it's not. Go.
Phantom Menace is not relevant to the overall plot arc of Star Wars in any way. Nothing that happens in the movie The Phantom Menace matters. Every other movie includes one element that is important for the rest of stuff. The only thing that this establishes is that Anakin's a good pilot and that he comes from Tatooine.
And that Obi-Wan gets him under his wing.
Yeah, but we would have figured that out if he was Obi-Wan's apprentice, if it started at Attack of the Clones.
It's like an origin story for Anakin. No, it shows you where he's from.
Yeah, we needed to know about Sebulba. That's not Sebulba, that's Watto. All right, we want to play it off with some music?
That is a pretty good reason, I guess, but what's more enjoyable to watch? You can't tell me that the pod racing scene isn't a little bit good.
It is good.
It's a good.
I'd say it's more than a little bit good. I'd say it's exciting and visually it's very colorful and interesting and
despite me
kinetic.
Despite me really not liking the lightsaber battles in the prequels,
yeah,
Darth Maul ain't that bad.
There's
spectacle.
That's agreed to be the best one.
They change environments and it's fun.
That's agreed to be the best
one.
The battle of the.
I mean, most people will say the third in Revenge of the Sith.
No, that's the.
I don't like that one.
That's the sucker's choice. That's the person whose eyes glaze over's choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. So the other radio person hasn't come in yet. I don't.
Well, then we'll just. I mean, so Phantom Menace. What is the Phantom Menace? Is the Phantom Menace just the Sith? That there are Sith?
Yeah. Right.
I guess it establishes that there is a Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
But that happens in 2. You could do that in 2. Darth Maul does not. I mean, he's not an important player. It's all about like Naboo and the Gungans and Boss Nass,
Boss Baby,
and
Big Boss,
Cake Boss. Yeah, it's not important.
Yeah, you're right. It's not. Phantom Menace doesn't at all fall in line or even contribute to the story.
Attack of the Clones has some actually good things, like the plot where Obi-Wan is investigating the clones that doesn't really go anywhere, but
it doesn't go anywhere,
but is interesting.
Oh, you get the birth of Boba Fett.
Yeah, you get Boba Fett. You get that they're all clones of him, and it's sort of like a noir story where he goes to follow this cover up. He finds out Count Dooku is evil.
Yeah. So what?
So that's cool.
The arena scene is not entertaining.
No, it's not. That one sucks.
Okay, cool.
I think it's a bad movie.
But you think it's better? You'd rather watch that than Phantom Menace?
Probably.
Dude, what? Like, come on.
Oh, okay.
It's so
no. I would not rather watch it.
I hate to
say
I would not rather
it's
watch
boring,
it. But
I would not rather watch it than Phantom Menace.
Nothing really happens for so long.
Phantom Menace is irrelevant.
It is okay. It is probably worse to the story itself of the Skywalker saga or whatever.
Okay.
I think that Attack of the Clones is a worse movie.
Yep. Okay.
The movie itself is boring. Dialogue is all terrible. Worse than Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Because it went under
dumb
extensive
puns,
rewrites.
I'm quite beside myself.
Sand dry gets everywhere.
That line is. There's nothing wrong with that line in and of itself.
Yes, there is. Why does he say it? What's the point of him saying? I know it's a meme. I'm not harping off the meme.
No, wait for it.
It's a bad performance. It's wooden acting. It's wooden dialogue.
Dan.
Yeah, hit me with it.
What are the downsides of sand?
Don't you do this to me.
What are they?
It's coarse. It's rough. And it gets...
Yeah, where's the lie? That's just a fair observation.
Nobody said it was a lie. But why is that in the movie?
No,
It's a bad line.
no, it is because it shows,
if you just say something that's
that
true,
he resents where he's from, right? He's from Sand.
I get that.
He's from Tatooine.
Sure, yes.
I don't think the line is good, but I'm just saying I have the same complaints of Sand.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Did you know the original title of Attack of the Clones was Jar Jar's Big Adventure? Or something like that?
No.
Yeah. No, he was like a big focus throughout the planned trilogy. Backlash happens. The title of the movie is changed. It was a working title. That could not... Hold on.
So it really was Jar Jar was going to be the key to
Jar Jar's Great Adventure.
No.
Yes. Ready? Boom. Let's picture the screenplay.
That's got to be a working title.
It was. It totally was. But that was the title they had right before they switched to Attack of the Clones and before rewrites.
That's horrific.
You want to... Oh, my God.
And then we should probably go.
Dude. Look who that's for. Look who Jar Jar's Great Adventure screenplay is stamped and signed by. You know who that is?
Yeah.
That's Jar Jar.
Yeah. I saw that interview which really bummed me out.
That came out right as the new movie was coming out. And that was just depressing.
That was a really sad interview.
I put a lot of myself into that
where he's like,
character.
I did it because it was a voice that like made
my
kids
nephew
laugh.
loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't realize people would react so
I
poorly.
didn't realize
to it.
people would hate me personally for no reason.
Receive threats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hold on. This was like a second draft with pink revisions. Jar Jar's Great Adventure. Jar Jar is the key to all this, and that wraps our episode about 80s, 90s rap movies. All you can eat. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.